Welcome to OM Report by Andre Alpa, your interview-focused podcast on topics from online marketing to internet startups.
All right, so today's OM Report is with Chris Jones. Chris, can you please introduce yourself?
Chris Jones. I am internet marketer, entrepreneur, investor, author. Most people probably know of me from my former company, Pepper Jam, which I founded, and it was an internet marketing agency and an affiliate network that I built over the course of about a decade, and I sold it in 2009 to a company called GSI Commerce, and then shortly thereafter that we were acquired by eBay, and now the technology and the agency are part of eBay.
It actually became the eBay Partner Network, like the eBay
it's actually called
internal affiliate network.
So they acquired GSI, including us, and they renamed that division of the company. They actually created a division called eBay Enterprises. So it's really like eBay's, e-commerce technology and marketing services division of the company. So it's an individual operating unit of eBay. So you have eBay proper, you have PayPal, and then you have eBay Enterprises. And the company I founded is over in the eBay Enterprises part of the business. But anyway, so so I was really involved in the search and the affiliate space since the late 90s. And I've written a couple books on internet marketing, SEO in particular.
One that everybody should know, the blueprint.
Yeah,
the blueprint.
SEO visual blueprint. It's sold over 50,000 copies already.
Wow, amazing.
Yeah.
Third edition now, I think.
Third edition came out in April.
Pretty freshly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it came out in April.
Congrats to that again.
Thank you.
I know it's a lot of hard work to A, compile a book, and B, to try to work it over again to keep it up to date.
Yeah, my publisher is Wiley, and that's one of the big sort of publishing houses in the U.S., and you got to follow this very strict process. You've got this big editorial team, so the content has to be strong. You write the content, you push it to them, they push it back. You push it to them, they push it back. You push it to them, they push it back. And it's a long, lengthy, intensive process. But So
after you sold Pepper Jam, what happened to you? Did you fall in like a black hole and didn't know what to do now?
No. Public speaking, has always been a big part of my career, something I enjoy, networking, having opportunities to, grow my relationship with other successful internet marketers. So I continued to public speak. I was finishing the third edition of my book, the second edition of my book at the time that I sold Pepper Jam. And I founded an investment fund, so an early stage tech investment company called KVJ Capital. And
which is your initials?
Which are my initials.
Right.
Yeah, and the idea there was it's all self-funded, so it was some money that I put aside from the acquisition of my former company. And I started to invest in a bias towards early stage tech companies, so internet software, e-commerce, mobile, and so that even to this day, consumes a lot of my time. But I've taken on a couple other roles as well.
So when you say consumes your time, it means you're reviewing, people who apply to be funded by you, or you actively search for companies you could invest in, or evaluate your existing investments, or what does that exactly mean? So
the fund is about 3 years old now. So it's like the companies that I funded 2-3 years ago are going through different life cycles. So I'm in some cases helping them raise money, which this year successfully I think we've done 4 or 5 raises. In some cases, 2 or 3 of them are in an M&A process of different points in that process.
So do you go in as a person, so the potential buyer also sees you as Chris Jones helping this company, or do you just basically help the founders in the background, or are you there on the front as well?
For the most part, it's me actually being involved in that process and helping the founders or the investors, representing them. Not representing the founders. I'll go in as a partner, or I'll go in as an investor, but I'll do that for investors. So if we have a group of, say, 10 investors, they have, since I do this more professionally, they have no problem with me, flying out to Palo Alto and spending a day or two at wherever, any of the companies that might be looking at the portfolio. But then, over the last couple years, there's been a couple hybrid sort of opportunities that have come my way that I've taken.
So the Internet Marketing Ninjas must be one of them.
Internet Marketing Ninjas, perfect example. Jim Boykin, the CEO, and I have been friends for, I believe it's over a decade. It's over 10 years, and he reached out to me about, joining him to run the company. And because of all the other stuff I have going on, including a wonderful wife and 3 children, which are my number one priority in my life, it just wasn't practical for me to join as CEO or some capacity like that. So what Jim and I decided to do was structure it not too dissimilar from the role I play when I invest in a company, because I become a very active advisor, and in those cases I become a non-paid advisor. I'm actually on Jim's executive team as I serve as chairman of Internet Marketing Ninjas, and so I'm on the payroll, so I actually have official duties. So it's not just, hey Jim, call me when you need me.
So what are your official? So you really go to a pitch to a big client as well?
Yeah.
Okay.
I've worked with them on some of our largest clients. I've brought some of our largest clients to the table just because of my background.
Sure. It must be the same clients, that you used to know in your old role.
Yeah. And companies will still, I do a lot of public speaking, so they'll say, hey, can you help us? And I'll say, well, sure, Internet Marketing Ninjas is my vehicle to do that. But I work with Jim on high-level strategy,
They've acquired quite a bit of communities and promoting tools now in
acquisitions of communities like Webmaster World and DevShed and Create a Site, talent acquisitions like Chris Boggs, Ann Smarty, Joe Hall, Kim Krausberg, among a number of others. We actually just announced some talent acquisition. That's why I almost look at it like a transaction, because these are seasoned people. These are people who are running their own companies or can run their own companies, and we're convincing them to come over to Internet Marketing Ninjas on our story.
What is more interesting? I mean, usually I assume that the people you refer to, they would rather run a boutique consultancy, like a rather compact team. And what convinces them to come to a bigger team, under a bigger umbrella and a bigger brand?
I mean, a couple things. I mean, it's an exciting brand right now. People are really excited.
Hot.
Now, these folks that have joined the team know what we're up to, but it's not public information what our overall strategy is regarding the acquisitions we've made.
But you can see something is cooking. I mean, even from outside, even if I don't know, I can see something.
It's almost
cooking.
boiling.
Yeah. I can feel something at the fingertips.
It's coming. I should look into the camera. It is coming.
It's coming.
But no, the excitement of working for Internet Marketing Ninjas, working for someone like Jim Boykin. I mean, the guy is an absolute visionary, and he's every bit as bright as he. If you spend personal time with Jim, he's very attentive. He listens. He's very bright. He's a fun guy to work for. And another thing I advise him on is the overall financial controls and structure of the company, because our goal is to double, triple, quadruple the size of the business.
Which always changes the business when you make it bigger. Like 5 people is different than 50 is different than 150, and so on and so on. Yeah. So the company has to change how it works in general.
But I was going to say on the financial side was Jim really just takes care of his people too. His team, incredibly generous. I mean, I look back to my Pepper Jam days, and we had an amazing company. I mean, it was like there was a period in 2007, 2008 where, if you were on the Pepper Jam team, you were a rock star. Coming to shows like this and Affiliate Summit and Search Engine Strategies, like that was the big brand one of the big brands back then. Well, here we are now in 2013, and Internet Marketing Ninjas is one of those brands. So these people are joining the team to work with Jim, to work with me, to work with Chris Boggs and some of the other folks I mentioned, and to see. I mean, they're believing Jim's vision for how this all works together.
Right.
So
when will everybody else be able to see the result of the big vision?
So we're hoping that first quarter, maybe second quarter of next year, we'll have announcements before then, but like the big announcement, the thing that Jim's been kind of dreaming and envisioning for a long time, I believe will finally come to fruition. And it'll likely come out of the technology portion of the company. And I believe that it'll be additive and supplemental to some of the other technologies that you see out there that are, new age technologies helping businesses of all sizes, take their interactive marketing to the next level.
So besides KVJ Capital, besides Internet Marketing Ninjas, and your family, of course, priority number one.
Yeah.
Is there anything else in your life, or is that sufficient to, full make your day packed?
So about 2.5, 3 years ago, I was in the process of I was very interested in finding a company to invest in the local e-commerce, local internet marketing space, and I met with a lot of them, and it was an area that I just took a personal interest in. So I took about 6 months in, late 2010, and I flew around the United States and met with some key advisors and people I've met. And I said, I'm really interested in this local space. I see how Google is getting more involved in personalization and customization of the unique search user experience. And I really feel that where the internet started was this sort of big swath of opportunity where a small business could come in and compete against the Walmarts of the world. And that was my message, in early 2000s. And then again, 2.5, 3 years ago, I started to see Google change the way that the search results are displayed to tailor to certain things, and then creating their own ecosystem. So long story short, I decided instead of investing only in this startup, I figured I would found it. So
that's Reefer Local, I assume.
What's that?
It's Reefer Local, I assume. No,
Reefer Local.
Reefer Local. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Reefer Local.
Reefer Local.
Yeah, Reefer Local. Others like to say Reefer Local, and reefers. We don't actually sell drugs on the website. No.
But that's a good start. Maybe they come for that, and then they find something else which is interesting.
Yeah, true. Yeah, that's true. I think my father actually was one of the first ones. He's like, "Oh man, Reefer Local." I'm like, "Oh, Dad." It's like, no.
Blush.
But anyway, so the idea was to get involved in the local e-commerce and local internet marketing space based on some trends that I was watching Google do, and just the way we retrieve information. Again, much more personal, much more localized.
Isn't that
a lot less noise?
Is it hard to scale a business that's kind of oriented to the local search market, because there's like the customers that you have to cater to? I assume that you have to cater to them, more directly, probably even in person. Or is it
our model,
as easy to scale?
We're a technology company, to be fair.
Okay.
We've built local e-commerce and internet marketing technology. Our core clients are media companies, traditional media companies, so newspaper companies, TV and radio. And we built this platform as sort of an enterprise plug and play, where they promote it in their newspapers and on radio and on TV, and they send the traffic into the site. So they send their audience. It's a platform to help publishers. In its original conception anyway, it's evolved, but its original conception was a platform to help publishers monetize their audience.
So again, it reminds me a little bit of an affiliate network, one could say.
There's definitely some performance marketing roots actually core to the whole platform.
I mean, it's like lead generating for the local businesses.
It's exactly what it is. Okay. Yeah, the platform, when we originally started, we had a deals platform, we had pay-per-call and pay-per-lead. I mean, that's where I came from,
Sure, it makes sense.
So, so that platform is doing well. I ended up funding it, so I was originally the largest investor, and then we brought some media investors in, so some media companies invested in it, and I have a couple of angel investors there, and so I have shareholders to answer to.
All right. So how do you split your day amongst the different things that you do? Like what percentage? I mean, just the work part.
Yeah.
What percentage is KVJ Capital? What part is Reefer Local?
Yeah.
What part is Internet Marketing Ninjas?
So I wrap everything into KVJ Capital. So it's all of my ownership interest in all those entities are all wrapped into KVJ Capital. So by far and away, the two areas that I spend most of my time in are Internet Marketing Ninjas and Reefer Local. Now, that's not to say if one of my other startups needs to raise money or they're in an M&A process. I mean, I've probably been to the West Coast 15 or more times this year, at various companies, and I don't want to drop them on video, but I've spent quite a bit of time at a number of large companies in Palo Alto and Silicon Valley, pitching or raising money or whatever. So when those things aren't happening, I would say I'm probably 50-50 between Ninjas and Reefer Local.
Right. And I think you're doing, I'm not sure if that's true. If I'm wrong, we'll cut it out. But you have like 2 Facebook pages. One is kind of you as an official person, and the other is really your personal account.
Yeah.
And that looked so confusing to me for quite a while. Can you explain that to me? Is that something historical that you still have, or is it like a well thought through strategy that I don't get because I don't know why?
So
because the public.
I was an early adopter of Facebook,
right.
And I guess my policy early on was that I wouldn't just accept anybody, but I probably did. So I maxed out on 5,000 friends.
Oh.
Probably 4 years ago, and so over that time, I've purged some people that were friends of mine, but I still am at that 5,000 max. So a friend of mine, J.R. Rittinger, who's the CEO of a company called Mark in America, had a similar problem. It's about 1.5 years, 2 years ago, and he said, Chris, he's like, you could start your create your own fan page, or that's what they called them originally.
Yeah.
The Facebook business pages were fan pages, and so at his advice, I created the page. And
so there's like one Chris Jones fan page,
yeah,
and the other is really Chris Jones, the person.
Yeah. So for people who I meet at conferences, or people who I don't know on a terribly personal level, but still want to follow what I'm up to, or I'm big into personal and professional development, which is something I do some public speaking on, and but that's a different group of people than, say, the SEO group or the affiliate group or whatever. So on my fan page, I guess whatever, is I cater a little bit more to that personal and professional development. So I put a lot of quotes,
so it's broader kind of on topic. It's topic-wise, it's broader. It appeals to more people.
Yeah, and I'm not posting, by the way, the other reason I have 2 pages, this is critical, is I'm not posting that much personal stuff. Like I'm very transparent in my personal life. I mean, we're friends, so you see the kids and
everything.
Yeah, I'm posting the kids and pictures of my wife and family and all my travels and stuff, where that's on my personal page, because I like to stay deeply connected with people that I consider friends.
Right.
On the fan page, it's I'm not so sure I would go that I would be that transparent over there. It's more professional.
Right.
So on the one hand, the one is personal, on the other, it's professional. But aside from that, I probably haven't executed on why I really separated it.
I just realized once, and I was just eager to ask.
Yeah.
Right.
So
thanks again for your thoughts.
Sure.
And for the really broad information that you added.
Cool.
Thanks
for your time.
Thanks.
Absolutely.
OMReport and Andre Alpa would like to thank you for your attention. You can get more episodes on www.OMReport.com.